Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
In with you on this Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio. Here are KMOX studios, and don't worry, we will hear from Tom Ackerman, the very excited, I am sure, Indiana alum after the fun night last night that he certainly had there in Indianapolis. He is in Indianapolis, or he's in that state somewhere. I don't know if he's in Indianapolis or he's in Bloomington. He's gone back to Bloomington. Pretty sure he did the double dip yesterday because the Hoosiers, the basketball team, played Louisville yesterday in downtown Indianapolis as well. So he had the opportunity to do both. So probably a pretty good day for him. Their basketball Hoosiers did not fare quite as well as the football Hoosiers did, but no doubt, I'm sure, a great day for him. Lots to do today on the program as we get through it here. A couple of hours of some really fun stuff. Congratulations right off the top to the St. Louis University Billikens. Men's soccer team is going back to the College Cup, the Final Four of men's soccer in the NCAA world, and they're back there for the first time in nearly 30 years. It's been that long since St. Louis has been in the Final Four in the College Cup. They made a run a couple of years ago, but didn't get to the Cup, so they do that with a come-from-behind win yesterday against Ackerman, and we will hear from the head coach of the Billikens. That is Kevin Kalish, and we'll hear from him coming up here at about 10:30 today, so in hour number one. Also in hour number one, we're going to hear from Matt Pauley. Our own Matt Pauley is down in Orlando. The winter meetings, baseball winter meetings, have started. They are underway, and, of course, we expect some movement, some moves from the St. Louis Cardinals, and we'll see what that looks like, but we'll get kind of Matt's lay of the land as things get started down there in Orlando. So he'll join us here on the other side of our first break. Also in the top of the 10 hour, in the 10 o'clock hour, that is, we'll hear some post-game sound from the Blues, who got a much-needed win last night, snapped a two-game losing streak. They had lost 4 of 5, and of course, you know, it's been a tough season for the Blues, but they get a 2-1 win, a gritty win last night in Ottawa, and a great game from Joel Hofer in goal. Made 41 saves in that game last night. So we'll hear we'll hear from the head coach, Jim Montgomery. We'll hear from Joel Hofer, maybe a little bit from Jake Neighbors as well. He scored twice in that game last night against the Senators, and they are on the road again. They're still on the road. They'll play tonight at Montreal. So we'll finish up the 10 o'clock hour with that. As mentioned, Tom Ackerman's going to join us coming up to start off the 11 o'clock hour. We'll check in with him, see how he is doing, how he's feeling maybe today after that day yesterday. We'll hear from the Cards president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom, at 11:30, and at 11:45 we'll wrap things up with Bernie Miklasz. So lots of good stuff going on here today, and we'll get all of that to you here on this Sunday morning. Man, quick non-sports note. I was at the Fox last night and saw The Wiz, and it was fantastic. So I don't know if you have the opportunity to I don't know how long it runs. This might be the last weekend for it. Our family has season tickets, but we a lot of times we slide our tickets around depending on the days that everybody is available. And, of course, as most know, trying to get families all on the same schedule, all that. But my wife, Emily, and I had a chance to see The Wiz last night. It was just tremendous. I mean, it was really, really good. It's very high energy, lots of dancing, of course, great songs that probably folks know from way back in the day. I think it first hit Broadway in like 1975. I saw the movie the movie came out in 1978. I saw it at some point as a kid. It's not great, but Michael Jackson's in it. Diana Ross is in it. So, but the live action musical, just tremendous last night at the Fox Theater. So again, as we move along here, again, we're going to hear from Matt Pauley right off the top. He's going to lead us off this morning. We'll talk to him about what's going on and maybe some expectations from the winter meetings, maybe what else he expects maybe to come from the winter meetings, but we'll chat with him and get a chance to check in and kind of see what is happening in Orlando. We'll do that when we come back here at Sports on a Sunday Morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman here this Sunday morning. Glad you are along. Matt Pauley coming up in just a bit as we continue here on KMOX.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Discover how you can make unforgettable memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're dreaming of a winter family getaway, planning your next home renovation project, or considering an investment in your education goals, a home equity line of credit is a flexible and convenient option to fund life's most memorable moments on your schedule. Our local bankers are here to help you achieve your short and long-term financial goals. Call 314-212-1500. That's 314-212-1500. Visit us online at royalbanksofmo.com or stop by a Royal Banks location near you for more details on how you can tap into your home's equity and get the most out of its current value. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
I get asked a lot on when's the best time to buy a furnace or an air conditioner. My response always is, with us, it doesn't really matter. I don't mark your prices up because it's cold or it's hot. But with the tax credit that's expiring at the end of the month of December for 2025 and 0% interest on all of our products right now. So you get 0% through the month of December on the majority of what we offer you, furnaces or air conditioners or both. That's a big savings to you, and it makes it really, really affordable, not just because it's Christmas or anything like that. It's just if you can eliminate interest, that's a lot of money a month that you save. So if you're in the need for a furnace or a furnace and air, call me. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or Bart Inman, that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband. This is the season of joy, and it's time that your internet provides that for you. Other service providers will tell you that their internet is fiber-powered. That's different than i3 that delivers true fiber internet into your home. It's so reliable, the pricing is crazy, and they give you a 2-year price lock with zero commitment. i3 is your hometown local internet provider, here for you for every way you celebrate the season. Head to i3broadband.com/radio or call 877-976-0711.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Monday night, it's the 56th Annual Jack Buck Sports Awards at the Missouri Athletic Club. A night to remember with Jordan Bennington, Jim Hart, and John Rooney among the honorees. The 56th Annual Jack Buck Sports Awards, this Monday night, live at 8 p.m. on KMOX.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman this Sunday morning as we welcome you back into Sports on a Sunday morning, and we are joined by Matt Pauley, my colleague here at KMOX, and he is probably much warmer than we are here. It's not bad here, but I'm sure it's better in Orlando where the winter meetings are taking place. Matt, thanks for taking some time today.
You bet. 74 degrees right now.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's a little nicer. No question about it.
A little warmer. Yeah.
So Give us a kind of a lay of the land. What's meetings start today, or have they started?
The setup is today,
Mm-hmm.
so today's the day where people get in, and then the actual events will really begin in earnest coming up tomorrow. But a lot of stuff's already set up. I walked in, and the first thing you see when you walk into the hotel lobby is the big MLB Network setup. So for people who are watching on TV, they're going to see the hotel lobby, and it's right in the middle of everything. And there was obviously a good number of baseball and winter meetings people that were in the building last night. So officially tomorrow, today's kind of the setup day for everything.
So Matt is down there, of course, for KMOX Sports. Mike Claiborne is there as well. I imagine that a lot of what you get out of this, what you're able to bring to our listeners, to Cardinals fans, is really the opportunity to kind of talk with everybody else among the baseball world, right?
Yeah, that's part of it, and obviously if a move gets made,
Sure.
then we get the immediate reaction from Chaim. Chaim will speak with the media Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. Ali will speak with the media Monday afternoon. So those are the 4 St. Louis-connected media sessions that we know that we are going to have while we're here. But just being able to talk to anybody that you need to and see what's going on, and it's an interesting thing, just the watching of people walk from one direction to another and wondering what might be going on, and just all the rumors and everything. When there's a lot of stuff popping, Joe, it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, more often than not over the last few years, it's been kind of boring.
It's interesting. I went to the winter meetings like 25 years ago as a minor league baseball job seeker, which is part of, a little part of what goes on. And then I remember the first time I went, I think it was when Alex Rodriguez was going to be signed by the Texas Rangers. So literally Scott Boras is holding meetings like in the hotel lobby. Like he would just impromptu gather the media together just to give updates. I know those days are long gone, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's not necessary for everybody to be in person to do things like that. But I know what you're saying. Like when there's stuff going on, it is kind of cool.
Yeah, and Boris will do a big media scrum. Now, he's not employed by Major League Baseball, so it's not like he gets to use the ballroom and the big setup. So he'll just find somewhere, and then it'll be just this throng of humanity with hundreds of media members trying to get close enough to Boris to be able to hear him talk. It's one of the more interesting parts of the winter meetings every year.
Well, I'm glad at least some of that hasn't changed, so that's good. So as we look at what the Cardinals, and of course we expect there to be a lot going on with the Cardinals, whether it comes at the winter meetings or not, that certainly depends on everything that happens. But what are you kind of expecting to hear from Chaim Bloom? What are you expecting that there may happen, with the Cardinals?
Yeah, look, is there a possibility that we get through these next 3 days and the roster looks exactly the same as it looks right now? Yeah, that's a legitimate possibility, but that doesn't mean that work hasn't been done. I've said over and over, I think that the Sonny Gray trade was largely connected to conversations that happened previously at the GM meetings. So I would say that conversations are going to continue to take place. Cardinals have a lot of players who they're getting phone calls on. Brendan Donovan's probably number 1. Sounds like JoJo Romero might be all of a sudden number 2 on that list in terms of players that there's interest on, and whether those guys actually get moved in the next 72 hours or they get moved before Christmas. I think there's going to be fruit to be, they'll bear as a result of what happens here at the winter meetings.
We heard recently now that, Wilson Contreras is a little bit more open to exploring letting go of that trade, of his no trade clause. What does that look like? Does that open up anything else do you think for the Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's got that no trade clause, so it's going to kind of be like Sonny, where he's going to have to be at the table as these things are getting negotiated. But I do think there's a pretty good possibility that Wilson gets traded, because the money's not an issue. He's perfect. The compensation, no team's going to look at that and feel like Wilson Contreras is a really highly paid player. But at the same time, maybe there's an opportunity to pick up some of that money and get an even better return from a prospect standpoint. So there could be some creativity that will go along with that. I don't know if that market's going to move right away. There's some, like Pete Alonso is sitting out there. Sometimes you have to wait on some other things to happen, like the Nolan Arenado deal. I think, again, they're going to have to be waiting on the Bregman thing to happen. So I would be surprised if something happened with Contreras over the next few days, but I guess don't rule out anything.
You mentioned when just talking about Contreras, the opportunity that might exist if, depending on what kind of money the Cardinals are willing to eat on that. And I thought it was interesting when I was listening to you talk to, maybe it was just listening to you react to Chaim Bloom talking about the Sonny Gray deal. And that was kind of something that I don't know that people realize, that it's not just about, hey, we're going to eat salary because that allows us to move him. If they eat some salary, they take on more salary, it also allows you to then get a better return in that deal.
Yeah, so I don't think that applies to the Nolan Arenado deal. I think
Right.
You're taking on salary for Arenado just to get that deal done. But when you've got really good players that are not overpaid, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, you've got an opportunity to go take on some money to put, and it's really the only way, Joe, in this sport where you could honestly just go buy a prospect. The setup of baseball doesn't really allow you the opportunity to do that, so you could go take on salary and get a better return.
I'll ask you, and it's something I have on my list for a little bit later when we talk to Chaim Bloom, but the right-hander that they picked up off of waivers from Cleveland, Zach Kent, what do you think, what interests you about that right-hander? 27 years old?
Yeah, his slider is really good. That's the first thing. When you're picking guys up off of waivers, obviously they're going to be flawed players. So I think what you're looking at is if they do anything really, really just have a really strong strength, and his slider is pretty impressive. So that's the first thing that jumps out at me. Also, there's going to be familiarity because he comes from Cleveland, where Rob Cerfolio was there. There's been some other folks who've come over from Cleveland since the new regime has started to take over. So an interesting piece. I don't think he's going to be a big time difference maker, but is he somebody who could contribute to wins at some point this upcoming season? I think so. And he pitched in the big leagues a little bit this past year. And in the final month of the season, I think he had 8 September appearances with a sub 3.5 ERA, so that looked pretty good.
Yeah, kind of back end stuff, right? Back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, he was finishing games that Cleveland was losing.
Yeah,
that was kind of his role in September.
So, is there some way that you would quantify the winter meetings? And maybe not, because obviously, as you said, a lot of times what happens is not what fans are going to see. It's work that gets done, and maybe you see the result of that later. But is there something that you think makes this ultimately successful or not successful for the Cards?
I think we'll find that out later.
Yeah.
If we get to February 1st and the Cardinals roster still looks the same, I think we can say that the winter meetings were not successful. But as long as the moves start happening, and I really am very confident that that's going to happen, I think it was probably going to be a pretty successful 3 days, whether the deals actually take place in the 3 days or not.
Other storylines, other teams, anything else that's particularly interesting to you as you get into this?
Yeah, I think just I'm curious to see how the market starts to move. The market is so fragmented, where we've already seen relief pitching really move. We've seen some big names come off that board with Devin Williams and Ryan Housley. Starting pitching a little bit, but there really hasn't been the big moves when it comes to position players. So, and a lot, the market moves as the market moves. So all of a sudden that first domino gets pushed, and then a bunch of other things happen. So I'm just going to be curious to see if markets do actually start moving here over the next few days.
So remind us again, Chaim speaks a couple of times coming up in the evenings, right?
Yeah, he'll 3 times. He'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday will be immediately following the Rule 5 draft. A lot of times they don't do the President of Baseball Operations talk on Wednesday. They're going to be doing it in a different place on Wednesday. So I don't know if you really read into that one, Joe. Maybe that means they've got the plan that they are going to be active in the Rule 5.
Yeah, and you said we'll hear from Ali on Wednesday as well, correct?
Ali's tomorrow.
On Monday, okay.
Monday.
Well,
Yep.
We really appreciate it. Thanks for taking some time this morning. Obviously, look forward to hearing more from you and from Claibs as you get into it. And certainly as things pop, we know that we'll have an opportunity to catch you guys pretty quick.
Awesome. Sounds great. Look forward to the next few days.
Matt Pauley from the winter meetings in Orlando, Florida, as we expect the Cardinals to be active here over the next couple of days. Certainly appreciate him taking some time here out of his Sunday morning to join our sports on a Sunday morning. We are broadcasting from the Stifel Sports Studio. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman. And when we come back, we're going to be talking some Billikens soccer. Head coach Kevin Kalish from the St. Louis University men's soccer program. They are College Cup bound, and he will join us on the other side of the break as we continue sports on a Sunday morning here on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Please welcome one of the game's all-time greats.
There, when legends were born.
Stan Musial, another left-handed hitter. The slugger of the Cards stands in there.
Listen to the crowd, everybody up on their feet. Stan waits. Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! A run is scored! Musial around first! On his way to second with a double! Holy cow, he came through!
Stan is certainly the man here in town, and always has been and always will be.
For my mother and the Musial family, for making me a Cardinal forever. Thank you.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine. KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead. On your terms, text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
You know Gray Bar for electrical parts. But there's one more thing you may not be thinking of us for that can help maximize your next project's total value. Our pre-project planning services are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Oh, baby, it's happening. FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll in the Show Me stage, and they're celebrating with a little something for everyone. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right. No matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you're into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. So the interface is quick, payouts are fast, the experience is top tier. Download it at FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel Sportsbook now live in Missouri. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
We're back in on sports on a Sunday morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman here on this Sunday morning, and we are pleased to welcome into the program the 8th-year head coach at St. Louis University He is Kevin Kalish, and a huge congratulations to Kevin, to the Billikens, as they are headed for the College Cup thanks to a comeback win yesterday against Akron. I think folks know that my full-time gigs at SIUE, a little bit of a rival with St. Louis, but what you might not know is Kevin and I had a chance to work together for many years at SIUE. I could not be more happy for you, Kevin. Congrats to you and the Billikens.
Hi, Joe. Great to hear from you. Thanks again. It's been a magical run so far.
I cannot imagine. Yesterday, of course, as I mentioned, a comeback win. You go down 2-0 after the first half there at Akron, a team with its own history and championship pedigree for sure. And you come back with 3 goals in the second half. What was the mood like? What was the talk like at halftime? How do you stay focused and come back for that win?
Yeah, I mean, I want to give credit to Akron. I think obviously it's a fantastic team and program. You knew there was going to be a very difficult opponent going there earlier in the year, and very difficult place to play. They had a great fan base, and they definitely, I would say, took it to us the first half. But games are full of momentum and swings, and we knew that if we could just build momentum and again, get that first goal and just be a little bit more aggressive in the attacking half of the field, we felt like the game could swing. And we were fortunate, obviously, with the red card. But, I thought even before that, we were definitely on the front foot.
Kevin Kalish with us, the head coach at St. Louis University men's soccer. When you went back to St. Louis before the 2018 season, and obviously as an alum of the program, this is a program that has such a pedigree, 10 national titles. But honestly, it's been a while, right? It's been almost 30 years since you've been to this spot here. But I imagine that as you got back to the program, that this had to have been a goal and something that you've been pushing for since then, right?
100%. Yeah. Obviously, we have high aspirations. I went, obviously, like you mentioned, was on the last team that got to go in '97. Our '91 team was an amazing team. Like you mentioned, the legacy and history that obviously, when the program was started, and it's just, I'm very, very blessed in the sense that obviously I get to work at my alma mater, and we have an unbelievable staff. And I think this is a culmination of just a lot of years of work, right? You don't know when you're going to make a run. You hope that you put teams together that are in positions to do so, but you need a lot to go your way throughout the tournament. And yeah, this group's gotten better and better as the year's gone on, and they were just, I would say throughout the season they've managed to deal with a lot of different types of games, and it's a resilient group. And again, very fortunate to be in this position.
I'm always interested when teams see each other for like a second time, and you've twice faced teams in this tournament now in Indiana and Akron that you faced and lost to in the regular season. I think it says a lot about your group, certainly about your staff and the preparation to come back and face a team for the second time and reverse that result. What do you attribute that to? Yeah, you know what? Every game's different, right? I think going to Indiana in the regular season, going to Akron in the regular season, we had a really difficult non-conference schedule. I think we just put ourselves. We played Portland at home, and just a lot of difficult matches that I think. You learn a lot about your group, and I think by playing those games throughout the season, and obviously going through the A-10 tournament, we've been playing very difficult games and games that even the last 3 weeks that we had to win. And I think by just going through the fire, so to speak, I think the group's found ways to win games, and they've built momentum. We've built belief, and I think. Each and every game, you just kind of look at it in its own unique way and just try to find a way to win it. I think there's just so many variables that goes into injuries and personnel and just obviously tactics. But most importantly with this group, it's the character, it's the fighting spirit, it's how well they work together as a group. And that's been the difference of why we've been able to pull these close games out. It is 14 games unbeaten for the Billikens now as they continue their run. They will be in the College Cup beginning on Friday. But, Kevin, you've got a very This is you mentioned a resilient group, but it's a very team-oriented. You've got 11 players that have scored a goal, more than that have added assist. Jeremy Abinal in goal for you has been great, saved a penalty kick yesterday. So this has been something, this is not necessarily where, perhaps you have one or two stars. You've got an entire team here that is pulling in the same direction at the right time.
Yeah, it's a wide range of players. We got I think 3 or 4 freshmen that start, and a handful of sophomores, and they obviously got some good senior leadership. So it's a good mix of guys coming from different backgrounds. A lot of St. Louis guys, obviously, but I do got to point out Jeremy's performances this year have just been extraordinary to watch. He's and I've said this numerous times, but the best goalkeeper in college soccer. He's proven that game in and game out, and his ability to make plays when it counts is something that I hadn't seen since Patrick Schulte.
And how much does it help? How much how much of an advantage is it that you've got that he's a veteran back there? That makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously with him and Quentin Blair kind of just right in the spine of the team in the back. I think those two guys are leaders, and I think it just gives confidence to the entire team knowing that we got two guys that not only they're been in these situations before, they've played in tough games, they know how to win, and they're calm, cool, and collected. Their personalities they never seem to be fazed by much.
I was really impressed with the game-winning goal yesterday, and specifically Andrew Heckenlabel and the individual effort. It was a penalty kick, or I'm sorry, it was a corner kick. If folks didn't see it, and it was a short corner kick, and then the work of Heckenlabel to get into the box and eventually deliver that ball into the middle of the box was spectacular.
Yeah, it was a great call by Jack Roberts, our assistant coach, kind of go short. Just obviously being a man up, and Andrew's really dynamic in wide spaces, and we felt like they were, the field was, I don't know but you could tell, but the field was frozen. It was really difficult to get footing yesterday, especially for defenders. It was really difficult to stop and cut. It was like playing on an ice rink. So we felt, again, if we could just keep running at guys, running at defenders, and it was a great play by Andrew, and an equally great play by Tanner to continue to make the near post run that he made like 7 or 8 times prior to that, but he got rewarded on that last one, which was great to see.
So next up for the Billikens is NC State, as I mentioned, in the national semifinal. I'm confident you have already started digging into the Wolfpack, but what kind of are there specific challenges maybe that NC State presents?
Yeah, I'm watching them right now. I'm at the halftime of the old Georgetown game yesterday. They're a very complete team. Just I think they've only conceded I think after this game 9 goals all year. They've conceded the least amount of goals of any team in the country, and they got a guy who scored 17 on the other side. So I think. Just a very complete team. At this stage of the game, everybody's good. So you just gotta again look at what they're good at and where their weaknesses are, and just try to build a game plan that makes sense.
And I imagine that at this point as well, it is a lot about taking care of the things that you do well, right? Yeah,
100%. Yeah, we're not going to change too much for any opponent at this stage. We got our own identity and our own way of doing things, and our group has shown whether going on the road. I know it's going to be a difficult environment. It's a neutral site, but I know it's in their backyard. But that's something we've embraced throughout the last 2 weeks. On the road, IU and obviously Bryant and then Akron. So something I know this group will be up for.
17th time in program history, the Billikens will be in the College Cup. It is Friday against NC State. Again, the head coach is Kevin Kalish, and as I said before, Kevin, thrilled for you. Congrats again, and good luck to you.
Thanks, Joe. Great hearing from you, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is Kevin Kalish, the Billikens in the College Cup, the Final Four of men's soccer. They'll play Friday against North Carolina State. Glad to hear from Kevin, and congrats again to the Billikens. We'll wrap up this 10 o'clock hour. On the other side of the break, we'll hear a little Blues post-game sound from last night after they win it over Ottawa 2-1 in last night's game. We're coming back to the Stifel Financial Sports Studio here on KMOX.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduce stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
Bernie Miklasz here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
We're back in on Sports on a Sunday morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman this morning as we wrap up our 10 o'clock hour. Plenty more to do in the 11 o'clock hour. We will hear from the Cardinals president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom. We're going to hear from Tom Ackerman, who is no doubt still celebrating the Indiana win yesterday. Indiana, by the way, the unanimous number 1 in the new AP poll. Georgia did leapfrog Ohio State, so it's Georgia at number 2, Ohio State at number 3. And the playoff selections, I think that show begins at 11 this morning. So as those get underway, we'll let you know what happens there too. Really, hopefully, maybe give Tom a chance to react to some of that as well as it is happening. So that's all to come in the 11 o'clock hour as we finish up here in the 10 o'clock hour. Talk a little bit about the Blues and a much-needed win last night as they win 2-1 at Ottawa. Jake Neighbors scores both goals for the Blues. They went up 2-0. Ottawa gets a goal midway, well, kind of late actually in the third period. But Joel Hofer was certainly the story last night. 41 saves for the Blues goalie in net. Really obviously kept the Blues in that one and allowed them to get that win. The penalty kill was good last night as well. Want to let you hear some post-game sound. We'll start with the Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, and of course that's the first thing he was asked about was the play of his goalie Joel Hofer.
Can't say enough about him. He was fantastic. There was screenshots from the bench that we were like, he doesn't see it, and man, he just came over and his shoulder. You know, he was seeing the puck at a level that was unbelievable, and our PK was unbelievable. The sacrifice by everybody, but it starts with him in nets.
Yeah, just on the PK, like how much of a good PK is built off of basically hard work and sacrifice?
Well, it's where it starts, right? You got to be willing. If you're going to PK, you got to be willing to block shots. I know Robert Thomas' block shot wasn't on the PK, but that's the kind of sacrifice we're looking at. And we had the one, 6 got hurt, and there's a lot of guys with ice bags. And when you have a lot of guys with ice bags, it's usually because you're a very determined group and you've played the game the right way, and we got rewarded for it.
About the one Thomas laying down, guess for this.
Yeah, in a 4-on-3. Yeah.
Just with Hofer, you mentioned it this morning a little bit, how he's been playing recently. Just how much confidence does that build in your group when he is playing like he is right now?
Oh, well, when he's playing like that, I mean, the same thing as when Vinner's playing like that, which happens a lot for us, is it energizes the bench. It makes us believe that we can, win any kind of game, even a game where we're being outshot 15-1. The power plays are 7 or 8-1 for them. We believe that we can win because of how good our goalies are, and Hofer was that guy tonight.
Jake mentioned he didn't think his game was where he wanted it to be coming back from the injury, but tonight good to see him kind of get those on the board.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great nose for the net, and both those goals is, a guy that scores in and around the blue paint. So it was great to have that line contribute 5-on-5 like they did. And the power play goal was really good by, the Shen unit.
How's Kyrou doing?
Kyrou's doing okay. I think he's day-to-day right now. We'll have more when we get a picture on him. At the most, we think it's a week to 10 days, but we got to get an MRI when we get back just to make sure.
Are you kind of holding your breath on Broberg, too, when that happens?
Yeah, but we saw it was a puck, and it's on the inside of the knee, and the padding, if it hits you right below the knee, it's a stinger, and sometimes you just get drop foot, but it's really painful, but you tend to know that it's going to subside, so we were very hopeful that that's what the case was, and it is what the case was. And again, he was incredible down the stretch, him in 55 on the back end.
And with the penalties, like when you look at them, did you see them as effort penalties, as undisciplined ones, as not penalties at all? How did you kind of view them in total?
Yeah, I mean, the high sticking ones, I mean, they're bad breaks. I didn't think the Shen one was a high stick, was their own, but I mean, that's, the calls aren't going to go your way. You're going to have nights where you got to, kill more than you get power plays. And, we've had it both ways. That's what happens during the course of the year. I do think we took a couple of penalties that were unnecessary, at least 2, maybe 3, But once you start killing 4 or 5 in a row, you don't have as much juice as the other team. So you end up defending a lot more, so you take more penalties.
Are you just waiting for Joel to score one of these days?
Well, I mean, he's better than our forwards at shooting for the empty net.
Hofer got close last night. He just missed on an empty net shot. That's what they were referring to there. So kind of funny, but they've said that for years about Joel Hofer and his ability to shoot for the empty net. Let's hear from Jake Neighbors here as we continue with the post-game sound from last night and the Blues. Neighbors scored twice in this game, both goals for the Blues. But, of course, he also was asked about Joel Hofer.
Not enough, probably. Yeah, amazing. Just locked in from the get-go, obviously undisciplined first from us, and kind of put him under a lot of heat, and he was ready to go. He's locked in as usual, and one of the best I've seen him.
Yeah, just how big was the PK tonight in general, and particularly in that first period?
Yeah, huge. I mean, getting out of that first 0-0 was a win for us, and in terms of how the period was going, obviously I got to take some responsibility on myself. A couple dumb penalties, and a couple other ones I think we could avoid. But like you said, PK came up huge, and that's what you need game to game. You need little wins, and PK was a win for us tonight, and they did an amazing job.
You said it's one of the best you've seen from Joel, and you've seen him a long time. When he's playing that well, what are you noticing the most about his game?
I think just his tracking of the puck. Like, there was a couple in the third period there that I have no idea how he saw it. They had Kachuk standing there pretty much the whole third, and the guys were just sifting pucks in, and he was getting his hands on it from I don't know how, like I said. So I think just how locked in he was, how well he was seeing the puck, and he might have had more puck touches than me tonight too. So it was just he was locked in, cutting off rims, and obviously almost scored a goal. So he was amazing.
He was trying to join you on the score sheet.
Yeah, he's itching to get one. So that one was, he's closer than every other guy who had a shot on it. So I would say in due time he'll have one.
On your first goal, the replays are kind of tough to see. Did it go off your blade, off your foot? Like, how did it go in?
I think I got it with my stick, actually. But yeah, no, just Suti made a great play. We, had a couple pucks directed towards the net, which breaks down the PK. Suits makes a great pass to Schenner and, hits the post. And I think I was one of the only guys who knew where the puck was at that point and just tried to, get her in there any way I could. So got lucky, got her with a stick.
And that was your first one since being back from the injury. Like, did that kind of lift something off you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not. I try not to be a result-oriented person, but I was scoring a lot before I went out, and then kind of came back and haven't thought my game has been up to par and up to my standard and the way the team needs me. So it felt good to get a couple for them tonight.
Yeah, the second one just good pass by Booch there.
Yeah, really good. Great draw execution in the center ice, and I got to get in there, get on a forecheck. Booch made a great read on the rim, and I just do what I do, go to the net, and he found me, so he made a great play there.
That's 2 wins in 8 days against a team you don't really see that often. What did you think you guys did well against them this season?
Yeah, I think, two teams that play real patient hockey and try not to allow a lot of things, so I think it's just being patient, winning the net front battles. They're a team that likes to play physical, get to the net, a lot of big bodies, and, guys that like to, move the needle physically. So I think for us, trying to match that, I thought we did a decent job of it, and like I said, winning the net front battles, I thought that was huge. Couple in tight tonight. So
it's Jake Neighbors last night after scoring 2 goals to help the Blues to that 2-1 win. Let's hear from the star Joel Hofer. 41 saves, said things were good last night.
Yeah, I felt good. Got into the action early. We got into some penalty troubles early. The PK showed up big. Webb's got us going, and it was good.
What are you going to do with this towel?
I'm going to make it into a golf towel. So, I'm going to put a loop on it, and, hopefully don't get it too dirty.
Did you already know you were going to do that, like predetermined, like once I get that towel, that's when it's becoming?
Yeah, I knew that for sure.
How long has that been?
Last year, I don't know, we were watching and someone got it, and then I was like, that'd be a great idea. And then Schenner brought it up too. I think Schenner's got a couple of those towels, so pretty cool for sure.
Just on the PK, what were they doing so well in front of you, especially in the first period?
I'd say make it predictable. Any east-west, we were good with our sticks and keeping it to the outside for the most part, and obviously big blocks too. Like that's half the battle. So it was a great job by us.
What was going through your mind when you saw your shot, trickling down the ice?
I was thinking goal left because I knew it was offline. I don't know. I knew it was missing. So
it seems like you come out of your net like more than most goalies I've seen. Like, has that always been part of your game?
That's something I always enjoy doing. Something that gets me in the game, keeps me in the game, helps out my D, and just trying to help the team.
What did you think of Jake tonight?
he's a warrior. He did great. Obviously did a couple goals, and it was good. He's right in front of the net. That's where most of the goals are, and he deserved it.
When you shoot the puck, like how quickly are you looking up and aiming? Are you aiming? You just know kind of what the whereabouts.
I wasn't really aiming. I should probably get my head up. I don't know. I practiced it quite a bit. I'm not really looking up.
And then at the end of the game, it seemed like it had all died down, the scrum, and then it picked back up. Like, how did it happen?
I don't know. I guess they were just jamming away, and then things got carried away, and they had extra guys in. So, Six was getting double teamed there, so I had to jump in and help him out.
So that's Joe Hofer after the game. I do want to explain, if you heard a little bit, they were talking about what are you going to do with this, and he's going to make it into a golf towel. So there is a tradition on Hockey Night in Canada, the Saturday night hockey show, long-running show there in Canada, and sort of an MVP award. They hand out a towel. It is to the star of the game or MVP, whatever you want to call it. That is what that was. And as Joel Hofer was speaking, he was presented with that towel, and they kind of threw it over his shoulder there, and that's why the question came, what are you going to do with it? He said, I'm going to put a loop on it, and I'm going to make it into a golf towel. And so kind of cool, just a one of those traditions that kind of gets started, and it becomes a meaningful memento for the players. And as he said, Shen's gotten a couple of them as well, but Hofer got it last night, and so that's what he was talking about when he said he's going to make a golf towel out of it. 2-1 win for the Blues last night. Good win for them to get, wrapping up the 10 o'clock hour, the 11 o'clock hour. Plenty more to do at 11:15. Tom Ackerman, of course, our regular host of this program and an Indiana alum, celebrating today as his Hoosiers have won the Big Ten title. They're now number one on the AP. We expect them to be number one when the college football playoffs are selected. We'll talk to him coming up very quickly. At 11:30, we will hear from the Cardinals president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom. And 11:45, we'll wrap things up with Bernie Miklasz. So plenty more to do here from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio. I'm Joe Pott, filling in for Tom Ackerman. Hour number 2 of Sports on a Sunday morning comes up right after the news.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
All right, Missouri, it's finally happening. I've been talking to you about it for a long time now. FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll here in the Show Me State. I'm fired up. And they're celebrating, by the way, with a little something for everybody. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. So no matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. So it doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you're into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. I can tell you this, it's definitely built for me. I've been using them for years. The interface is quick, the payouts are fast, and the experience is top level. So download FanDuel or visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. It's the FanDuel Sportsbook app, now live in Missouri, and of course the official sportsbook of KMOX. 21 and older and present in Missouri to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
At Audien Hearing, our mission is simple.
To make better hearing affordable for everyone, this Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Peter King. President Trump has been accused of skirting the issue of rising prices and affordability during his first year back in office, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent acknowledges that it is a problem that has an end date.
We are now seeing this affordability problem, and I think next year we're going to move on to prosperity.
Bessent tells CBS's Face the Nation there are several reasons to expect 2026 to be a better financial year for Americans.
Interest rates have come down. The bond market just had the best year since 2020. And now we are working on inflation, and I expect inflation to roll down strongly next year.
Another administration official claims progress in a different area. Borders czar Tom Homan tells CNN State of the Union that ICE crackdowns on illegal immigration are working.
Every city we've hit, we arrest a lot of criminal illegal aliens. I looked at the numbers today. By the end of this calendar year, we're going to be around 600,000 deportations, in the majority of them being public safety threats.
Much of the northern plains and upper Midwest are well below freezing. It'll be a while before those areas thaw out. CBS News meteorologist Andrew Kozak.
Cold air has a firm hold on the Midwest this week, keeping temperatures below freezing from the Dakotas through Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northern Michigan. Now, some areas with single-digit lows, and the Great Lakes will still fire off some light snow showers and flurries that will create slick patches on the roadways. As we move into the mid and late part of the week, another surge of cold air drops in from Canada, bringing a fresh chance for light snow in the Dakotas and the lake effect areas. Won't be a major storm, but it's enough to keep winter travel on edge. Andrew Kozak for CBS News.
Philadelphians are preparing for a possible transit strike, with SEPTA's union leaders saying that it could be imminent, but they haven't given a specific deadline to work out a new deal. CBS Philadelphia's Eva Anderson.
For the hundreds of thousands of people who rely on SEPTA each day, things are looking uncertain.
We got a lot to lose.
Clinton Mumford says SEPTA is the only mode of transportation he can afford.
I got programs I got to get to, back and forth, and if I don't take that, I got to take an Uber. And then I got to dig down deep in my pocket.
Now Mumford and other riders are scrambling to figure out what they'll do if service shuts down.
Here we go again.
Here come tonight's winning numbers. Let's start things off this evening.
Nobody matched all the numbers for last night's big Powerball jackpots, and now it grows from 820 to 875 million. Next drawing, tomorrow night. A zoo on Java Island announces the birth of Indonesia's first locally born giant panda cub. Zoo officials have released pictures and say it's a boy. He's gaining weight and showing other signs of good health. The cub is nicknamed Rio and was born last Saturday. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 11:03, it's cloudy and 43 degrees downtown at the Arch. Good morning, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, over the weekend, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth outlining a new vision for U.S. foreign policy. What do our KMOX political analysts think about it?
Well, I mean, it's just wrong.
That is KMOX Republican consultant John Hancock. He says Hegseth is tossing aside decades of history where the U.S. has been involved in nation building, democracy, and intervention all over the world. The defense secretary now wants us to focus on our border, the Western Hemisphere, and letting allies fend for themselves.
The vision that Pete Hegseth outlined is a vision of a weakened America, a more unstable world, and a world where foreign autocrats are going to feel free to roam and take and pillage.
Democratic analyst Michael Kelly concurs on what role the U.S. should play in foreign affairs.
It's sad to watch what's happening to our leadership in the world and this idea of just surrendering. I want to be in a world that the United States leads it, not one where we take a back seat.
Kelly and Hancock both believe the Pentagon's recent drug boat attacks near Venezuela have an ulterior motive, regime change in an oil-rich country. Former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner could be facing ethics violations. This stems from her taking $5,000 in public funds to pay off a court-ordered payback.
This goes back a few years when Kim Gardner was prosecuting former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens back in 2018. She got off with a reprimand from Missouri Supreme Court and was ordered to pay $5,000, which she admitted doing in 2024. Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel believes this is yet another ethics violation. This is the group that investigates attorneys, and they call Gardner's actions professional misconduct to commit a crime. But Gardner's attorneys do not think this allegation is going to hold up because she has not been indicted, charged with the crime for using those public funds. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
KMOX AccuWeather this afternoon, mostly cloudy and turning colder with areas of drizzle as temperatures fall through the 30s. Watch for some freezing drizzle and slick spots early tonight, maybe flurries as well. Then cloudy, cold, low 22. Partly sunny, cold, 34 tomorrow. Not as bad Tuesday, sunny up to 54. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather's Bill Dager on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, 39 in St. Peters, 41 in Florissant. We have 43 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
Back in for hour number 2 of Sports on a Sunday morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman this morning, but Tom Ackerman is going to be our guest coming up here in our early segment here in the 11 o'clock hour. He was in Indianapolis yesterday. I believe that he was at both basketball and football yesterday, so he was doing the Indiana double dip yesterday as the Hoosiers were playing in Indianapolis for both of those big games. As I mentioned, basketball didn't quite fare as well as football did, but it was all about that Big Ten championship for the Indiana Hoosiers. They go to number 1, unanimous number 1 in the AP poll. Georgia is number 2, Ohio State number 3, Texas Tech, and then Oregon. That's your top 5 in the AP poll. They are currently just starting the show for the college football playoff selections. Now, we haven't seen anything yet, but some analysis of some of the teams and who might get in and who might do all of those things, but they have not started yet selecting those teams. So we'll keep you updated as that happens. And we'll get a chance to hear from Tom as that happens because he's probably going to be with us right as those things are coming up. So he is up first in the 11 o'clock hour. We will talk with Chaim Bloom, the Cardinals' new president of baseball operations. He'll join us at 11:30, and we'll wrap things up with Bernie Miklasz as usual in his 11:45 spot here on Sunday morning. So all of that to come. Big thanks already to Matt Pauley, who's at the winter meetings, to the Billikens men's soccer head coach Kevin Kalish. They're going to the College Cup, the Final Four of men's soccer. So that's what we've already done here. And, of course, you can listen on the Odyssey app. You can go back and rewind and listen to that first hour as well. If you want to check in on some of those things, both good conversations. And Matt Pauley and Mike Claiborne are in Orlando. So if something does come up over the next couple of days, if there is a move to be talked about, obviously, instant reaction will be right here on KMOX. Coming up later today on KMOX, 2 o'clock, we've got Billikens basketball. They've got Central Michigan in town at Chaifetz Arena. And then later tonight, it's Chiefs football. It's Kansas City and the Houston Texans coming up later tonight. So there is a lot going on all day long here on KMOX. Here as we come to you from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio here in our KMOX studios. And again, my pleasure to be in for Tom Ackerman this morning because I know it was a great afternoon, great evening for him, and probably a lot of fun as he is celebrating that Big Ten title for Indiana. First, I think since 1967 is the for the Indiana Hoosiers as a Big Ten football title. So Tom Ackerman will join us on the other side of the break as we continue at Sports on a Sunday morning. I'm Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman, but he's coming up next as we continue on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
With great sadness that we report that earlier this evening, a plane believed to be carrying Governor Miklasz went down in Jefferson County. There were no survivors.
There, when St. Louis mourned.
I remember I was at home. The news day was over for me when I got the call. It was a rainy night that the governor's plane at first was missing in a thunderstorm.
The most difficult,
time-consuming and emotional thing I've covered in my life.
He served the people of Missouri with dignity and honor for more than 4 decades. And all of Missouri will remember him for his dedication to public service.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband. This is the season of joy, and it's time that your internet provides that for you. Other service providers will tell you that their internet is fiber-powered. That's different than i3 that delivers true fiber internet into your home. It's so reliable, the pricing is crazy, and they give you a 2-year price lock with 0 commitment. i3 is your hometown local internet provider, here for you for every way you celebrate the season. Head to i3broadband.com/radio or call 877-976-0711.
Bernie Miklasz here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
If you haven't joined Book Chat with Debbie Monterey and St. Louis Public Library on Facebook, do it today. You can still catch our author chat with world-famous interior designer Nate Berkus, whose new design book, Foundations, is officially a New York Times bestseller. Nate Berkus, who rose to international fame as a frequent guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show and his own daytime talk show, had some great tips for us. St. Louis Public Library is St. Louis's original search engine, books, and so much more at SLPL.org and on Facebook with Book Chat with Debbie Monterey.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THELOU. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THELOU in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Give the best of Broadway right here in St. Louis. Muni season tickets are on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Our 2026 season includes Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. See all 7 shows starting at just $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
Monday night, it's the 56th Annual Jack Buck Sports Awards at the Missouri Athletic Club. A night to remember with Jordan Bennington, Jim Hart, and John Rudy among the honorees. The 56th Annual Jack Buck Sports Awards, this Monday night, live at 8 p.m. on KMOX.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
It's Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman here on this Sunday morning here on Sports on a Sunday morning, our Stifel Financial Sports Studio right here, our KMOX studios. And our regular tried and true host is Tom Ackerman. He is on the line because he is not with us today because he's been celebrating the Indiana Hoosiers. Congratulations to your Hoosiers, Tom.
Thank you very much. I'm coming to you from outside the Indiana football complex here in Bloomington at Memorial Stadium. We're inside this building. The coaching staff, I would assume some players as well, although the players are probably sleeping off last night's amazing win, are watching this college football playoff bracket reveal to find out where they're going to end up playing and who they could possibly play after their first round bye. This is an amazing moment for the school. I just looked at, I was looking at Twitter trying to see if I could get the bracket before we went on the air. Brett McMurphy, who does a nice job covering college football for On3 Sports, just tweeted that the college football playoff first-round games will kick off before the field is announced on ESPN. So it's taking a while. But we're here in the parking lot outside the football complex, and it is an unbelievable time here in Bloomington. It was incredible last night in Indianapolis. In my lifetime, I've been able to cover and attend a lot of sporting events. Of course, my heart is with my alma mater, but even if it wasn't, the story that I saw unfold last night is one of the great turnaround stories in sports history, I would say.
So, and you raise a point I was really going to go here, is that obviously we get to do this for a living, but most of us who do this, we're sports fans at heart, right? So to do, to get the opportunity to do what you did yesterday, and it started with basketball, right? You went to basketball earlier in the day?
I did. I saw Indiana play Louisville. They fell behind 16-0 at Gainbridge Coliseum, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Actually made a game of it, got the game down to 8 points, but ultimately they lost to 6th-ranked Louisville. And when the game was over, as disappointing as it was, because Indiana was never really competitive in the game, it ended single digits, but it was more of a one-sided game than that. Everybody sort of filed out of there and said, okay, we got some business to attend
right,
to,
to go across the street, right?
We have pressing business here that we came in town for, and it was on. And the feeling last night of being there, and the energy in Lucas Oil Stadium of a crowd that was both joyful and I think very grateful to be there. It was kind of like a celebration of the moment, like, wow, we're here. Like, Indiana's name is painted in the end zone, and this is awesome. But it also was a very urgent crowd. It felt like a national championship game, even though it wasn't. I think that Indiana fans treated that like, we have to win this game today. And that game last night was Indiana's to win. I think they outplayed Ohio State, and in the end, they were able to hold them off. And in what was a tremendous game between the two best teams in the country, and they could well face each other again down the road.
To my point, I was just going to say, though, sometimes it's cool for us to be able to experience the sports just strictly as fans and to go enjoy that and be part of that kind of atmosphere. And obviously for you, as an alum of Indiana, that's special.
It's incredibly special because, having been here, as I sit here and look at this stadium, and I'm looking up at the press box where I called games as a student. And Indiana was not a bad team when I was a student. In fact, in the first season that I was here, 1993, they went 8-3, and they lost the 3 games by very close margins. And Bill Mallory led his team to the Independence Bowl where they lost to Virginia Tech. But I thought, well, all right. I mean, I've stumbled into a good situation here. This is a good, solid Big Ten football program. And little by little, it just started to deteriorate. Yes, there were some good moments. Antoine Randall and Cam Cameron's team, they like to rack up the points. They didn't have much of a defense. And then they went through a period of time where they built it back with Terry Hepner. Unfortunately, tragically, Terry had cancer, and we lost Coach Hepner. Bill Lynch took over, and it just could not get over the hump. Kevin Wilson tried to do it. Tom Allen tried to do it. And there were some moments in all of those coaching regimes where you thought they were going to get over the hump, and they just got knocked down back to earth by Ohio State and Michigan and the powers of the Big Ten. And so last night, to be able to witness it as a fan and know that they are now the kings of college football, that they've slayed the dragon, so to speak, it's an amazing feeling to be able to witness that. I was actually sitting next to an IU soccer player last night, it happened to be, and it was neat to see it from his perspective. And I said, you know, I cover a lot of sports, and I'm from St. Louis. So I cover the Blues, I cover the Cardinals, I cover all these great sports entities and have for years and seen a lot of championships. But this team I've never had a working relationship with, except when I was a student. I mean, this is the team that I'm a fan of, and I got to do something that I don't get to do very often, which was just sit there and, you know, bite my nails and hope that everything was going to turn out okay, and a gut-wrenching game to watch, and they pulled it out. And as a fan, to be able to sit there and watch the whole celebration on the field is very satisfying.
KMOX Sports Director Tom Ackerman with us here from Indiana. He is on campus at Indiana this morning as they are at some point going to be able to find out and react to where they will play after a first-round bye. But again, we still have not seen any of the brackets being revealed. There's Andrew Price checking in with us, by the way.
And, you know, Joe, oh, is he? And, you know, Joe, I've been watching it because I was hoping we would time this out so they would bust the brackets out and then we could talk about it. But I watched Kirk Herbstreit talk his way through trying to put Alabama in. I watched Nick Saban try to talk his way into putting Alabama in. I heard last night driving back to Bloomington, SEC Network people pushing Alabama in. I mean, it's amazing. They probably will, but it was amazing the campaign for Alabama.
Yep.
I mean, it blows me away how the name brands have their cheering section, and they just push these teams through for the network's sake. They know it's a massive fan base. They know that it you know, if you don't have Alabama fans, I guess people think that you're not going to have college football fans watching or something. It's amazing. And Herbstreit's voice sounded pretty crackly. I felt bad for him. I like Herbie, actually. And I was surprised that I actually had a voice this morning, so I feel pretty good about that after all that last night. But it's incredible to watch the debate. I think that the debate will always be there. I think that that's part of it. And no matter what happens today, there will be debate. And if they expand it to 16, there will be debate, and on it will go. But it is a fun, exciting day. But to your point about being a fan of this team, it is just surreal. Like, it doesn't feel real that not only is my team not part of the debate, they're in the playoff. They're not part of the debate. They're the number one team in the country. They're just sitting there at the top waiting for all of this to get settled so they can figure out what they have to do. It blows my mind still. I woke up this morning and I thought about it for just about a half second. I was like, okay, it wasn't a dream. It really did happen. I'm living this. So, yeah.
Well, as we wait for perhaps a couple of teams to be revealed here, I want to touch on, too, tomorrow night is the Jack Buck Awards at the Missouri Athletic Club. You, of course, will be hosting that event. One of the coolest events in St. Louis, certainly at this time of the year, where all the greats kind of get together, and a ton of folks being honored tomorrow night at the Missouri Athletic Club. Jordan Bennington, Jim Hart, The voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney. The voice of the Billikens, the voices, I should say, Bob Ramsey and Earl Austin Jr. Matty DiMaria, one of the best up-and-coming soccer players in the area, and Jason Tatum. A lot going on tomorrow night at the Missouri Athletic Club.
It's going to be a great night. We will have all of those people. Jason, we're trying to get a video from him. He's agreed to at least see if he can get something to us to accept the David Freese Hometown Hero Award. The Bob Plager Legends Award going to Jim Hart. It will be amazing to see him there. Jackie Smith is going to introduce him, the legendary Cardinals quarterback. Jordan Bennington will be introduced by another St. Louis legend, Mike Liute, whose records he broke for the Blues, and the reason he was named Sports Personality of the Year, his run through the Four Nations face-off last year for Canada and guiding the Blues to the playoffs. Matty DiMaria, as you mentioned, best soccer player in high school in the country. And then our broadcasters, Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr., they'll receive the Burns Bragg Award for promoting St. Louis through sports, and a very deserved Jack Buck Award for John Rooney, the 20-year voice of the Cardinals, who has done an amazing job through his time here in really lifting St. Louis through his broadcasts. And you think about how many people he touches when he goes on the air for the first time in that first inning. It's remarkable. And so it'll be a great night. It's going to be 8 o'clock tomorrow night at the MAC.
That will be tomorrow night, and of course it will air on KMOX, so you can tune in if you're not able to be there. Tom, all we've seen so far is Indiana and Ohio State, of course, both in the quarterfinals, the 1 and the 2. We don't know yet who those teams will possibly match up with yet.
Yeah, and you didn't want to see Ohio State fall to 4. That wouldn't be great because Indiana and Ohio State meeting again in the semis doesn't seem right. You want to see them on opposite sides of the bracket so they can meet at the end again. I mean, they're clearly the two best teams. Georgia, though, will have a strong case. They'll definitely
they're 3
if they end up playing. Yeah, so they just came in at 3, so they would, in theory, face Ohio State in the semis. That would be an unbelievable game. And now we're going to find out who Indiana could end up facing here. But you know, Indiana would play in the Rose Bowl in the first game. The Big Ten champion goes there. I'm going to assume that the semi for Indiana would be the Peach Bowl in Atlanta if they get there. I can't imagine they send them out west twice.
Right.
But they'll have them in Atlanta, and then the national championship is in Miami. I may or may not have already booked a flight to Miami just to have it in my pocket just in case that happens. But, yeah, it's going to be great, but it's the real debate here is in the back end of this. Who gets left out? Notre Dame, Alabama, Duke winning the ACC sent it into further chaos. I do see some people starting to come out of the football complex here in Bloomington, so you know some of them have seen what they need to see, but I think that they're sort of moving in and out of there. The people are coming in and out of the building. It's really a buzz here in this town. Is just unbelievable.
Texas Tech is in the number 4 spot, so a possible.
Yeah. That's there you go. So you know, they're an awesome team. I mean, if I were to say that Indiana is the best team in the country, and I think they proved it last night, I feel pretty strongly about that. Texas Tech might be 2. I mean, Texas Tech is phenomenal from top to bottom. Ohio State might be 2. Georgia might be 2. We're going to find out. Oregon, Ole Miss, and
Oregon's
all those
number
other
5, by the way. They just revealed Oregon.
Yep, just came in at 5. So they're going to have. I'm going to assume that Ole Miss is probably 6 and A&M 7, but we'll see. But they'll all come in and make their case. It's going to be fascinating to see these games, especially home playoff games. I think that's a lot of fun. Indiana will not get one of those, but that's fine. They could use the 3.5 weeks of rest to get healthy.
Well, Tom, thanks for letting me keep your chair warm this morning, and thanks for taking some time with us to share your thoughts. And, of course, congrats again to you and your Hoosiers.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for doing it, and we'll see you all tomorrow night at the Jack Buck Awards.
Sounds great. That is KMOX Sports Director Tom Ackerman with us here on this Sports on a Sunday morning. The Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom, coming up next as we continue Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio here on KMOX.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
The holidays are here, filled with laughter, family, and memories. But if you're missing the punchline, the conversation, or even the music, it might be time to check your hearing. Hi, I'm Charlie Brennan.
I'm Dr. Bosler with the Audiology Center.
And I'm Dr. Voss. This season, we want you to hear every moment.
Hearing aids today can process sound faster than before. They're smarter at separating the speech from the background noise, meaning that when you're at the holiday parties this season, you'll hear the voices that you want to hear, clearer than before.
So don't wait until the new year. Give yourself the gift of better hearing today and reconnect with the people and the moments that matter most.
Call the Audiology Center, 636-441-7470, or online, theaudiologycenterstl.com. 3 convenient locations.
Call us today and make this holiday season better than last year's. Here for the holidays. Here for life.
Oh, baby, it's happening. FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll in the Show Me stage, and they're celebrating with a little something for everyone. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right. No matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you're into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. So the interface is quick, payouts are fast, the experience is top tier. Download it at FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel Sportsbook now live in Missouri. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
Back in on the Sports on a Sunday morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman this morning as we continue our conversations here as the college football playoff teams continue to be revealed. Alabama is in. They're in at number 9, by the way. So interesting there, no matter how you feel about it. But, of course, we are your home of the Cardinals here on KMOX 104.1 FM and 1120 AM. And happy to be joined now by the Cardinals President of Baseball Operations. He is Chaim Bloom, and first time that I have had a chance to chat with Chaim Bloom, so thanks for some time this morning.
Absolutely. Good to be on with you.
So winter meetings getting underway in Orlando. As you get set for these meetings and what is to come and the things, obviously, that are on the list, the media availability is all of that. Do you go down there with meetings on the books yourself? Is it kind of like, let's see what develops as we're there? How does it all kind of come together as you get ready for these meetings?
You know, there are a couple meetings that you might have on the books with agents just because everybody's in the same place, and sometimes it's nice to sit down face to face. But over the course of my career, increasingly, this is just a continuation of a lot of the conversations that as teams we've been having with each other for a while. So, you know, a lot of those will continue to happen by phone, by text, just the same way they do before and after the meeting. So it really, you just roll in there, you're in the air for a few hours, you shift venues, and you keep on talking.
And I imagine that that's kind of the way things develop, right? You hope that these kind of things, whether it is deals that happen over the next 3 days, whether it is something that sets the table for deals that might happen throughout January or February, you want those to be organically kind of happening, right?
Yeah, I do think it's a mistake to go in there thinking, hey, we have to leave here having done X, because outside of the Rule 5 draft on Wednesday, there is not a deadline or a milestone for the offseason that happens during these meetings. Now, all that said, the environment's really conducive to getting stuff done. Everybody's having conversations. We get to talk to our friends in the media every day about it. It creates that kind of convention, swap meet, pressure cooker atmosphere that sometimes just pushes people towards things that they might ultimately be willing to do.
I appreciate you calling us in the media your friends. That's very kind of you.
Of course. What else would I call you?
No, that's great. I do appreciate that. Chaim Bloom with us here on Sports on a Sunday morning. You mentioned the Rule 5 draft, and I know that the schedule has you addressing the folks after the Rule 5 draft. Do you expect to be fairly active in the Rule 5 draft? Are there folks you're looking at already?
Well, we certainly are doing some work on the available pool of players. I don't know yet if it's something where we'll make a selection or not. Depends on a few different factors, obviously, finalizing our assessments of those players, and also just how we think our roster is going to come together, both our 40-man roster over the course of the offseason, and then even how we anticipate our 26-man coming together in the spring. It is an exciting opportunity to take a player in the Rule 5. There's certainly upside there, but obviously there is also a commitment to keep that player through the offseason, and then if they do make your club, to give them a legitimate shot to stick throughout the year. And we want to make sure if we're going to do that, that our roster is built to handle it.
We're visiting with Chaim Bloom here on Sports on a Sunday morning. I do want to ask you about Zach Kent, who the organization claimed off of waivers from the Cleveland Guardians, 27-year-old right-hander. What was it about Kent that interested you, or what is it that you think that you can do going forward with Zach Kent?
Well, anytime you have space on your 40-man roster, you're always looking for ways to amass more depth. Doesn't mean you're just going to claim every player that comes across the wire, but if you think there's someone that can help you, someone who has a chance to compete for a spot in your bullpen, and you have an open spot, or you think there might be an upgrade, even if you don't necessarily have an open spot, you would tend to put in a claim on that player. And in this case, we did actually have a couple spots. We still have one open, as you mentioned, if we want to make a selection on Wednesday. But with Zach, this is a guy that hasn't gotten a ton of opportunity at the big league level, certainly has shown very capable of conquering every challenge prior to that. He made his major league debut this year in April. He can spin the baseball. He's got a couple good breaking balls, has a good idea of what he's doing out there, so brings another option for us and creates more competition. We have an interesting group of right-hander relievers. A lot of them have the ability to be sent back down to Memphis, and we want to have as many guys as we think are capable as we can possibly rack up, both to compete for those spots on March 26th and then to have as options throughout the year.
Chaim, was there some familiarity there with Rob Cerfolio coming from the organization? Did that help that selection, or that help that choice?
Certainly helps give you more confidence in the selection. Obviously, a lot can even happen in a year since Cerf has been out of that organization, and the most recent stuff is sometimes the most revealing. But in terms of vouching for the player, the person, that always helps. Even when we don't have that, you try to do the digging you can. Obviously, do a full breakdown of the player from a talent perspective, and then you do background research because you want to make sure you're bringing in not just somebody who has baseball talent, but who can compete and who is going to be a good teammate. And as much as possible, you want to check all those boxes. So it certainly helps to have people familiar with the player in-house with us.
Chaim Bloom with us here just for a couple more minutes here on Sports on a Sunday morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman. Is there other business or other things outside of just the transactional things that you're looking to accomplish here in your first winter meetings with the Cardinals, or as the president of baseball operations, I should say?
Yeah, it's actually a good question, and appreciate that you asked it, because I think one of the unique things about that environment, it does bring your group together in kind of a different way, a different format, different venue. So look, if there's transactions that you're working on or you're talking through, you're going to buckle down and work on those first and foremost. But there are other times that you might be able to just get some connections built between people. And when you're sitting in a room together for what feels like 24/7 for a couple of days, you want to build those connections, build that free flow of conversation, that communication. We are going to have our manager, a couple members of our major league staff in there, and they'll be able to be around some people that they don't spend every day with, and vice versa. So we're hoping to actually get a jump on some things as far as planning for spring training and just some of the things we want to sharpen the saw on, do a little bit better in 26 than we did in 25. We'll have a really good chance with a lot of stakeholders in the room to talk through those things too.
Chaim Bloom, we look forward to hearing from you over the next couple of days as things develop, however that looks. I look forward to talking to you more down the road as we get closer to the baseball season, and appreciate you taking some time today.
You bet, and looking forward to it as well.
Chaim Bloom, the Cards president of baseball operations, with us here on Sports on a Sunday Morning. Winter meetings getting underway in Orlando. We've got just one more segment to do here on today's show. As always, we'll visit with Bernie Miklasz to finish our time here in the Stifel Financial Sports Studio as we wrap up this edition of Sports on a Sunday Morning. Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman, and we're coming right back on KMOX.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is hiring residential garage door technicians and installers. Join the team trusted here since 1926. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. We will train motivated applicants to repair and install garage doors. Mechanical, carpentry, and service industry experience is a plus. Hiring bonus up to $4,000. Benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in St. Louis. Apply today at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app now. Use code RADIOMO. Place your first bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Open to new users in Missouri who are 21 or older. First wager after registration must qualify and win. And bonus bets expire 30 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promotions or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The Brennans love celebrating the holidays at home, and there's never been a better time to move up to McKelvey with our Home for the Holidays sale. Save big with savings of $25,000 plus up to $10,000 cash at closing on every move-in ready home, and on select homes, special financing starting at 4.75%. We have a wide variety of homes with all the most popular features selected by our experienced design team. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio.
Joe Pott in for Tom Ackerman on this Sunday morning as we welcome you back into the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, as we always do here on Sunday mornings, wrapping up our program with Bernie Miklasz, and of course his visit sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. Bernie, good morning. We just saw the 12 playoff teams unfold before our eyes.
Yeah, really interesting. It was going to be controversial. Oh, by the way, good morning, Joe. Good to be with you again. No, it was going to be just a powder keg of controversy, no matter how they went, because it came down to, of course, two spots among Notre Dame, Miami, and Alabama, and Notre Dame was the one left out, which I think will shock a lot of people, given the fact that they've won 10 in a row. But Joe, you know me, I'm a numbers guy. And when I look at Notre Dame's schedule compared to especially Alabama and the quality of the competition they faced all year, if I could just run one thing by you, only 3 of Notre Dame's 12 games were against teams ranked in the top 35, and they had a losing record in those games, 1 and 2, where Bama played 10 out of 13 against top 35 and went 7-3. In Miami, they played one more game against top 35 teams than Notre Dame did, and they had a 2-2 record. So Notre Dame's strength of schedule, I think, really made a difference here. And Joe, this we don't have the time to do this today, but I think there's got to be a conversation about Notre Dame, not playing in a conference and having to go through the rigors of a conference schedule like all these other teams do. Now, Notre Dame, of course, will say, forget that. We're Notre Dame. We're superior to everybody. We don't have to join a conference. Well, they may have to re-examine that. And this decision would be one of the reasons.
I absolutely agree with you. And I've thought that for a long time, that there is certainly a competitive balance there that doesn't exist with Notre Dame. Now, if it wasn't for the strength of schedule and some of those things you pointed out, does the head-to-head do anything for you since it came so early in the year, Miami, Notre Dame?
Well, this has always been my belief. You got to count the whole body of work. And I don't like to cherry pick. For example, Alabama. All we've heard, down the stretch they didn't play that well. Down the stretch, they didn't run the ball very well. Down the stretch, blah 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 blah. Well, what about the middle part of the schedule where they beat four ranked teams in a row? And so that didn't matter? So you have people out there who are only going to judge how they played the final 3 or 4 weeks? It's silly. You have to take the full body of work into account and not cherry pick. And I think that in this case, I think the committee made a mistake earlier, maybe not by putting a little more on that head-to-head between Miami and Notre Dame. And I that said, it's hard for me. All right, let me give you my opinion real quick. Sorry, it's a lot of information.
That's why you're here. We love it.
It's kind of hard for me to see Miami go ahead of Notre Dame when Notre Dame left out, even though it was a head-to-head. I get it. I'd like, listen, none of this stuff is going to match up perfectly. There's going to be contradictions. But you have a Miami team that, down the stretch, because I kept hearing the guys on TV talking about, well, they were playing as well as anybody down the stretch, and I was scratching my head. These are the people that are cherry picking stuff. Their last 4 wins were against Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. Now Pitt's ranked 20. They were ranked 23rd. Okay, does that sound like a tough schedule down the stretch? and before they lost to SMU, their win was Stanford. So you put Stanford on that list of their final 5 wins. I don't know. At least Notre Dame played some better teams than that down the stretch, if we're going to do the cherry picking down the stretch thing. So I don't know. I also think the ACC is a joke this year, and I got to factor that in. And also got to criticize the people that run the ACC for their tiebreaker systems, because I think Miami would have at least had a little more credibility if they had qualified for the ACC.
Come through the title game.
Yeah, the title game. But the tiebreaker thing was just so preposterous that they didn't make it. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this system, and there's a lot of inconsistency. If you ask me, I would have preferred Notre Dame in there over Miami, though they lost in the first week. And I know that's a contradiction. This whole thing is filled with a contradiction. Like, for example, if I throw another thing in at you, okay, it came down to Alabama and, well, no, let me just keep this to Miami and Notre Dame. They sat on the couch yesterday watching college football, but yet Miami moved ahead of Notre Dame, where last week it was the exact opposite, I believe. So what did Miami do to move ahead of Notre Dame? Did they have a better spread of appetizers watching the game? Did the Notre Dame people, did they drop the melted nacho cheese and to mess up mess up their spread of Mexican food? I mean, how do you lose ground to a team when you're both sitting on sofas watching other teams play?
It's a great question.
I mean, it's just. And then can I throw one more thing in? And
Please.
I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be mean, Bernie here. Okay. What are we trying to do here? Like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to get the best 12 teams in the tournament, or are we're going to leave a couple charity spots? What are we doing with this thing? Like, what's the exact goal of setting the field? You have Tulane in there, and Tulane lost the one power game that they played. They lost to Ole Miss 41-10. And you have James Madison in there, and they only played, one game against a Power 4 team, and they lost by 14 to Louisville. So, what are we doing here? Are we going to have like a quota system? Well, they do. We got to set aside for power for the group of 5 and this and that and this and that. Okay, I understand. Having more inclusion and all that. But at some point, all of the people that are in charge are going to have to determine what exactly is the most important criteria. Are you going to pick the best 12 teams, or you're going to reserve 2 spots for teams that aren't not even close to the same level of, say, the top 10 teams? I don't get it.
Really? No, that's a great point. Let me switch gears here if I can before we finish up here, because I do want to ask you just about the winter meetings, which are getting started. We talked to Chaim Bloom. We talked to Matt Pauley a little bit earlier. Do you have any specific expectations for the Cardinals as they get into the winter meetings here over the next couple of days?
And I don't tie winter meetings, because I think Chaim Bloom, in particular, the Brendan Donovan situation, Derek affirmed with a note today or yesterday, that more than 15 teams have expressed interest in Donovan. Well, if you've got all those teams to talk to and you've got all those offers to sort through, if in fact all 15 are offering, I think it's going to take a little more time than, to be under the deadline, the winter meetings. I think it's going to take a little while. Now, would I be floored if Chaim Bloom made some type of deal during the winter meetings? No, but I mean, we pretty much know, Donovan's available, and we pretty much know they're going to do everything they can to trade Arenado. I think they're going to have to wait on that. That's not going to happen quick because some teams are waiting to see where Bregman and a couple other third basemen go. Will they trade Nootbaar? Will other teams back off because he had the double heel surgery? Do they dare trade Alec Burleson? I hope not. Now there's a lot of talk that they are willing to trade Gorman. I don't have that information, and I have good sources. They're willing to listen on Gorman, but that doesn't mean they want to trade him. So they should be listening on everybody. I think Jojo Romero is drawing a lot of interest. I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded during the winter meetings. And who am I losing?
Wilson Contreras.
Wilson Contreras. Yeah, Wilson Contreras. Listen, I've seen people say, well, there won't be that much of a market for him. I've seen people like me say, well, hold on now. There is, believe it or not, there is a shortage of right-handed bats in the major leagues compared to the number of left-handed bats in the major leagues. And right-handed hitters as a group offensively are far below, or I shouldn't say far below, they are below what left-handed hitters as a group do. And so if you're looking for, listen, you're a team that's overloaded, let's say, with left-handed bats, say, we really need some right-handed power. We need a guy that can draw a lot of walks, get on base a lot, hit for power, hit a lot of doubles. Wilson Contreras, since he joined the Cardinals, and if we're going to go by weighted runs created plus, which I do, I think it's a credible metric, he's one of the top 9 right-handed bats in the major leagues since the start of 2023. So I do think, and I don't think his contract is prohibitive. So I would be really surprised if there's not a lot of interest. Now, what do I mean by a lot of interest? Hey, man, we could be talking only about 5 or 6 teams. That's still a lot of interest.
Bernie, always a pleasure. I appreciate the chance to catch up here when we do have the opportunity, and we always love to hear your opinions, man.
Joe, you always do a great job, and that's been true for many, many years. So nice to be with you again.
Love it. Thank you, Bernie. That is Bernie Miklasz with us here to wrap up this edition of Sports on a Sunday Morning. Big thanks to, of course, Bernie. Thanks to Chaim Bloom. Thanks to Matt Pauley. Thanks to Tom Ackerman, who was celebrating his Hoosiers today. And we heard a little bit from the Blues as they get the win last night. They're in Montreal tonight. Again, coming up later today on KMOX, 2 o'clock, it's the Billikens and Central Michigan from Chaffetz Arena. A little bit later on after that, it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs as they take on the Houston Texans. Tomorrow night, as we mentioned, the Jack Buck Awards, 8 o'clock from the Missouri Athletic Club. I'm Joe Pott, happy to be filling in for Tom Ackerman. Keep it here. Plenty more to come all day on KMOX.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine Physician